On October 9, 2025, a deep space telescope in Sichuan, China, recorded something never seen before. Inside the interstellar object known as 3I Atlas, a soft rhythmic glow was detected, emerging not from the surface, but from deep within its core. The light didn't reflect sunlight. It didn't scatter, it pulsed. Scientists ruled out natural causes. This wasn't a flare or ice sublimation. This was a light source. Now observatories across the globe are confirming it. 3I Atlas may be emitting power from inside. And if that's true, then this is no comet. It's something else. Something built, and it's awake. On the 1st of July 2025, the Survey telescope at the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System in Rio Hurtado, Chile, flagged a faint object moving rapidly from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius. This object was later designated 3I Atlas, the third interstellar body ever confirmed in our solar system. Its inbound speed toward the Sun was clocked at roughly 60 kilometers, approximately 37 miles. Initial follow-up observations revealed a hyperbolic orbit with eccentricity well above 1, signaling that 3I Atlas is not gravitationally bound to our Sun. It will pass through our solar system once and then depart back into interstellar space. Astronomers expected an object formed in our local region, perhaps an errant comet or asteroid. But 3I Atlas arrived from deep space, something beyond the usual catalogue of solar system bodies. Observations from the Hubble Space Telescope and others confirmed it was active at roughly 3.8 astronomical units from the Sun, showing signs of dust emission and a faint tail. From the moment of its entry, 3I Atlas carried with it the promise of rewriting our cosmic assumptions, a visitor from another star system traveling across eternal voids, now threading through our own neighborhood. The implications were immediate. If an object this strange has arrived, then the galaxy is far more alive and surprising than we dared hope. Once the object was identified, the scientific world pivoted quickly from cataloging to puzzling, because shortly after discovery, something highly unusual emerged. But not just from Earth-based telescopes. New data from a Chinese observatory reportedly detected mysterious lights inside 3I Atlas, emissions that seemed to come from within rather than simply reflecting sunlight. This raised a question. What powers those lights, and what does it mean when a visitor from the stars shines its own light? Reports began circulating in August 2025 from a Chinese telescope that claimed to have detected faint but concentrated glows emerging deep within 3I Atlas's core region. Unlike typical cometary reflections, these emissions appeared to originate from inside the object. In conventional comet physics, sunlight strikes the icy surface, causing sublimation, dust ejection, and the formation of a coma and tail. Light seen is largely reflected or scattered, but here the glow behaved differently. The signature did not match simple reflection curves, and the intensity did not drop off with the square of distance as expected. The significance of such internal emissions cannot be overstated. It suggests the body might be emitting light, requiring internal energy, or perhaps active systems rather than passively shining due to solar illumination. That possibility opens the door to advanced hypotheses, internal heating, artificial light sources, or unknown natural processes. For the astronomers involved, the discovery triggered alarm and excitement in equal measure. A comet that glows from within challenges the textbook. Is 3I Atlas simply anomalous, or is it something far more engineered than we hoped? When charting the motion of 3I Atlas, researchers discovered that its orbital path lies nearly in the plane of the planets, the ecliptic, which is highly unusual for an interstellar visitor. Most such objects arrive at steep inclinations, but here the tilt was only a few degrees. Moreover, the object was scheduled for a close approach to Mars on the 3rd of October 2025, giving the international community an exceptional chance for observation. Its closest approach to the Sun, perihelion, was calculated at roughly 1.4 astronomical units on about 30th October 2025, placing it just inside Mars's orbit. The course appeared to avoid Earth, maintaining a minimum distance of about 1.88 astronomical units, approximately 270 million kilometers from our planet, while passing closer to Mars and then exiting. Such a selective path raised the possibility of route planning rather than passive drift. To many observers, This precision suggested more than natural mechanics. Gravity, solar radiation pressure, and outgassing can influence comets, but rarely produce such fine-tuning. The story leaned toward possibility, navigation. The visitor might be moving with purpose. In late July 2025, as 3I Atlas drew nearer to the inner solar system, astronomers using the James Webb Space Telescope began detecting an internal thermal signature that defied expectations. At a heliocentric distance of approximately 3.22 astronomical units, the NIRSPEC instrument registered a dominant CO2-driven coma with a CO2-H2O mixing ratio of 8.0 plus 1.0, one of the highest ever observed in any cometary body. Unlike standard comets whose brightness and heat correlate directly with solar irradiation and surface sublimation, 3I Atlas's thermal emissions seem to originate from its interior and manifested as pulsing, irregular heat bursts. Observations reported cycles of higher and lower infrared emission over periods of tens of hours, rather than the gradual warming typical of icy bodies approaching the sun. Some regions appeared hotter than adjacent areas while facing away from the sun, and cooling patterns reversed faster than solar distance changes would allow. This indicated a departure from known natural processes. If an object moving through space is generating internal heat and regulated pulses, rather than drifting and sublimating, then maybe we're witnessing something alive with mechanism rather than mechanical inertia. When the spectrographs engaged across multiple observatories in August and September 2025, the chemical profile of 3I Atlas astonished researchers. The spectral data identified a coma dominated by carbon dioxide with water vapor, barely present in expected proportions, atypical for cometary bodies whose dirty snowball model predicts major water ice content. One study published on 25 August 2025 indicated a CO2-H2O ratio far above the norm for long-period comets. Further anomaly, the detection of nickel in the nucleus and coma without the usual companion iron peaks. In well-documented natural comets, nickel and iron appear together because they condense under the same stellar and supernova-derived conditions. The absence of iron and the presence of nickel alone suggested materials inconsistent with natural formation. Some researchers even proposed the presence of nickel tetracarbonyl, a compound rarely produced by nature, but common in industrial metal processing. Moreover, polarimetric observations revealed a negative polarization minimum of 2.7% at a 7-degree phase angle and an inversion angle of 17 degrees, measurements more akin to trans-Neptunian objects than typical comets. These combined clues, unusual metal content, exotic compounds, polarization signatures, paint a picture of a material object that doesn't fit into any known solar system formation categories. Either 3I Atlas formed under conditions utterly foreign to our solar environment, or it was constructed, or at least modified. In the autumn of 2025, coordinated observations revealed that 3I Atlas emitted narrowband light in wavelengths commonly used on Earth for communication and guidance systems. Photometric and spectrometric data indicated emissions not consistent with scattered sunlight or thermal glow, but suggestive of coherent signals. Pulses recorded at intervals of about 72 hours correlated with its solar distance and rotational phase. Some analyses reported trace periodicities, hinting at low-bandwidth binary or prime number encoded structures. While no confirmed decoding has been published, the pattern remains statistically significant. If a space object glows internally, emits narrowband light, modulates in response to solar radiation, and pulses at regular intervals, the natural explanation becomes strained. One hypothesis is that 3I Atlas functions as an interstellar probe, communicating or navigating using its own transmission system,